Here we go on an adventure into the mysterious world of Sigma females, those beautiful people who don't fit into social norms or labels. Sigma females stand out like beacons of originality in a world where conformity is the norm, making those around them admire and be interested in them. We'll look into what makes Sigma women so attractive and find out why their unique mix of freedom, intelligence and mystery makes them so appealing to men. Every part of the Sigma female personality, from their rock-solid confidence to their fear of commitment, is a key to understanding why they are so interesting. Hold on tight, because we're about to go on a trip full of surprises and revelations as we reveal the secrets of Sigma females and find out why men can't avoid being attracted to them. Imagine a woman who walks, marches, and dances to her own beat. In a nutshell, that's a Sigma female, extremely independent to the point where it's almost scary. She's not like other girls who are stuck in their groups of friends or who describe themselves by the people they hang out with. That's not it. She's a lone wolf, roaming the life woods with a confidence that is both inspiring and scary. Why does this look so good to men? Take a look at it. The Sigma female stands alone, whole and complete, in a world where everyone seems to be looking for their other half. Something very appealing about being independent makes her feel like she doesn't need anyone else to make her happy or agree with her. She is her own person, and people appreciate that level of independence. The catch is that she's not just independent, she has too much of it. It's as if she's made a wall around herself, keeping everyone out and only letting a few people in. And that's why guys are so interested in her. When they see her standing there, she seems so sure of herself and doesn't try to hide who she is. It makes them wonder what it would be like to get past her walls and earn her trust. While it's hard, it's also very exciting. Men want to be the one to discover the prize hidden inside the Sigma female and break the code that makes her mysterious. They want to be the one person she lets in when everyone else has been turned away. And that's what makes the dream so wonderful. It's not just about liking each other physically or having similar interests. It's also about the thrill of the chase and the task of winning over someone who is so fiercely independent that she's almost impossible to reach. It's about showing her that they deserve her attention, earning her respect, and enjoying her freedom while still being a part of her world. In short, men fantasize about Sigma females because they are the ultimate conquest, not in a controlling or conquering way, but in a way that shows equal respect and admiration. In every way, they want to be equals with her, able to stand by her side and enjoy her freedom while also making a place for themselves in her world. That's a dream worth going after, no matter how hard the journey might seem. Become part of our Sigma community now. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and activate the notifications. Join us and let's conquer the world together. We're going to talk about brains, not just any brains, but brains that make you sit up a little straighter. Such a Sigma female brings to the table not only good looks, but also brains that are on par with Einstein's. Okay, maybe not that bad, but you get the point. For men, Sigma females are like a breath of fresh air in a world full of old talks and tired small talk. These women don't just smile and nod nicely. They talk, they ask questions, and they question what you think you know about. Well, pretty much everything. Picture being with a woman who doesn't just talk about the weather or what she ate for lunch. No, she's talking about things like quantum physics, existentialism, or even the meaning of life itself. And she's doing it with such fire and excitement that it's hard not to be excited about it too. All of a sudden, that dull dinner date turns into an interesting argument, and you can't stop listening to her because her mind is working so fast. But here's the thing. It's not just how smart she is. It's how she uses it to make people think, inspire them, and push them. Women in Sigma aren't happy just coasting through life. They're on a journey to learn more and see what's possible. Men are naturally drawn to women with that much drive and desire. From the very beginning to the very end, they feel like they're witnessing the most amazing show in the world, the workings of a brilliant mind. It's not just about the brain gymnastics, though. It's also about the emotional connection that comes from getting to know someone better. Sigma females want to know more about you than just your mind. They want to understand your soul, to explore the layers that cover you and find the real you. That's what makes the dream so interesting. Finding someone who pushes you to be better and think in ways you never thought possible is just as important as finding someone who is beautiful or interesting. Finding a partner in crime, a soulmate, and a friend for life are all parts of this story. In short, men fantasize about Sigma females because they are the most intellectually challenging people in the world. They are a puzzle to be solved, a mystery to be solved, and a trip to be begun. And those who are brave enough to jump will get so much in return. Are you aware of anyone who has more sides to them than an onion? In other words, the Sigma female is a living, talking mystery. That's why guys can't stay away from her. You can spend hours with her and still feel like you haven't seen the whole picture. Just think about it this way. When you meet someone new, you usually feel like you know them and can guess how things will go. But when it comes to a Sigma female, nothing is safe. She's like a puzzle with pieces that don't quite fit together, or a book with pages that are missing. Men are drawn to that vibe of mystery and doubt. That's how it feels to try to figure out a puzzle or break a code. Every time you talk to her, you might learn something new and surprising, and guys love that kind of challenge, that sense of adventure and discovery. There is a mystery, but there is also much more to it than that. There are many levels of depth and complexity that make her who she is. Sigma females are strange, not just because they're mysterious, but because they're always changing, surprising, and going against what people expect of them. She's the life of the party 1 minute, telling jokes and making everyone laugh, and then she's lost in thought the next, looking off into the distance with a serious face. And just when you think you understand her, she'll do something that throws you for a loop and makes you wonder what the heck just happened. The best part is that guys love every second of it. They love how hard it is to figure out her secrets and how exciting it is to peel back the layers and see what's underneath. It's possible that they will never fully understand her, but they are ready to keep trying, digging, and exploring every part of her interesting mind. To put it simply, men fantasize about Sigma females because they are the ultimate mystery, a puzzle to be solved, a task to be met, and an adventure to be begun. And the rewards are out of this world for those who are brave enough to go on the trip. Imagine a woman whose heart seems to be protected by walls that are so high and thick that no one can get through. For that kind of woman, being mentally unavailable is like putting out a match and trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Still, guys are drawn to her like moths to a flame. Why? Because there's something irresistibly appealing about someone who doesn't show their emotions to everyone. As frustrating as it is to try to put together a puzzle that is missing parts, it's also strangely addicting. Sigma women aren't heartless or cold. They're just very careful of their feelings, like a valuable treasure that they would give their lives to protect. Men see that emotional wall as a challenge, a chance to show that they are strong enough to break through it and earn her trust. It's not just about winning her over, though. It's about the journey itself, with all of its ups and downs, turns, and times of weakness that happen when you least expect them. Even though Sigma females may not show feeling, that doesn't mean they can't be loved or cared for. They just need someone who will wait for them, understand, and be there for them when they need help the most. That's where the fantasy comes in. Men dream about Sigma females because they are the hardest to get close to emotionally. It's not just about getting their love. It's also about earning their trust and breaking down those emotional walls one brick at a time. It's a test of how patient, persistent, and connected you really are. And the rewards can be huge for those who are ready to take on the task. In short, men are attracted to Sigma females because they represent the ultimate victory, not in a sexy, bossy way, but in a way that shows respect and understanding for each other. Because they want to be the ones to show her that love and being open aren't signs of weakness, but of strength. They want to break down those walls and melt that surface. The trip is well worth it for those who make it to the end. Imagine a woman who is like an uncontrolled wild storm. She can't be predicted, she's fierce, and she's completely fascinating. That is a short summary of the Sigma female. They're not like the girl next door. She's a force of nature, and guys can't help but be pulled to her. Why? Because it's impossible to deny that someone who won't be tamed and follows their own path is very appealing. Men are drawn to Sigma women because they aren't afraid to say what they think, follow their dreams, and live life on their own terms. It's a bit like trying to hold on to a lightning bolt. It's exciting, but it can also be dangerous. Sigma women don't follow the rules or fit into neat little boxes. Instead, they go their own way through life, leaving sparks behind them. But here's the thing. It's not just the thrill of being with someone who is so uncertain, along with living life to the best. It's also about the thrill of adventure. It's nice to breathe fresh air around Sigma women because the world can be stuffy and smothering at times, and men want to feel free when they're around them. Their hearts are racing with desire. They want to dance in the rain of her dreams and soar to new heights on the wings of her drive. Sigma women are more than just friends. They're also going on the biggest adventure of all, life itself. And that's what makes the dream so wonderful. Being with someone who is physically attractive or intellectually stimulating isn't enough. You need to be with someone who ignites your soul, wakes up your spirit, and tells you that life is meant to be lived fearlessly and without shame. For short, men dream about Sigma females because they represent the most liberating freedom. Freedom from rules, expectations, and the limits of daily life. People want to be with someone who isn't afraid to be themselves, no matter what other people think. And the prizes are out of this world for those who are brave enough to take the plunge. Have you ever met someone who just seems to go with the flow and not worry about fitting in or following the crowd? It's nice to see someone like the Sigma girl in a world where everything seems to be the same. Men are drawn to her like moths to a flame. Why? Because there's something very attractive about someone who doesn't follow social rules or standards. Sigma women don't care about following the rules or the newest trends. They're too busy making their own way in the world, one brave step at a time. Like trying to hold on to a shooting star, beautiful, thrilling, and just a bit out of reach. Sigma women don't just follow their own path, they lead the way, making people look and fall in love everywhere they go. However, it's not enough to just be different. It's about being yourself, no matter what other people think. Sigma women aren't afraid to say what they think, fight for what they believe in, or question the way things are. And guys can't stay away from that kind of honesty. If they want to be with someone, that person shouldn't feel like they have to hide who they are or play a part to fit in. Sigma women are like a breath of fresh air in a world that can feel stale and stuffy, and men wish they could be around them more often to feel free. These people want to be motivated, challenged, and told that life is too short to try to please everyone all the time. Sigma women are like a bright light in a dark sea, and men are pulled to their warmth and glow like moths to a flame. Men dream about Sigma females because they represent the most freedom. The freedom to be yourself, to choose your own path, and to live your life the way you want to. Their ideal partner is someone who isn't afraid to be different in a world that seems to be full of people who are all the same. And the benefits are huge for those who are brave enough to jump. Imagine a woman who doesn't judge her worth by the number of clothes she owns or how much they cost. Instead, she judges her worth by the depth of her experiences and the quality of her relationships. That's the Sigma female, a simple person in a world full of extras. Men are drawn to her depth and simplicity. Why? Because it's hard to deny that someone who values depth over surface-level interests, sees beauty in simplicity, and lives their life with purpose, is beautiful. Sigma women don't care about following the latest trends or getting rich. Instead, they're too busy making their lives full of meaning and satisfaction. It's like looking for a diamond in a sea of rhinestones. The diamond is rare, expensive, and worth a lot more. Sigma women don't need expensive cars or designer clothes to feel good about themselves. A simple walk in the woods or a deep talk with a loved one can bring them happiness. Truth be told, though, it's not enough to just live a simple life. You need to live a meaningful life, one that's full of love, purpose, and real connection. Sigma women aren't afraid to let go of things that don't make them happy or fulfill them. They know that real happiness doesn't come from material things or status symbols. That's what makes the dream so interesting. Being with someone who is naturally attractive or mentally stimulating isn't enough. You also need to be with someone who is stable, centered, and not afraid to follow their own path. Being around Sigma women is like a breath of fresh air in a world that can feel stifling and smothering, and men want to feel free and real when they're with them. They want to be with someone who isn't afraid to be themselves and live life their own way. And the benefits are huge for those who are lucky enough to find that person. Simply put, men dream about Sigma females because they represent the highest level of freedom. Freedom from the shackles of wealth, the demands of consumerism, and the never-ending search for more. They want to be with someone who knows that real wealth doesn't come from things or names, it comes from inside. And for those smart enough to see that, the trip is worth it in ways they could never imagine. Imagine a woman who walks into a room with a certain amount of confidence that makes people take notice. It's not because she's the biggest or friendliest, but because she's not afraid to be herself, flaws and all. That's the Sigma woman, a towering figure of confidence who makes men fall in love with her. Why? You can't help but be drawn to someone who knows what they're worth, walks with their head held high, and isn't afraid to make a name for themselves. When Sigma women are living their lives on their own terms, they don't worry about what other people think of them. Men are drawn to women who are strong and honest like this. It's like trying to fight gravity. It's impossible, and yet completely impossible to stop. Sigma females don't need other people to tell them they're beautiful. They know their own worth and aren't afraid to allow everyone to see it. However, it's not enough to just be sure of yourself. You need to be at ease in your own skin, flaws and all. Sigma women aren't afraid to accept their flaws or enjoy what makes them special. They know that real beauty doesn't come from fitting society's narrow ideas of what is beautiful. That's what makes the dream so interesting. Not only is being with someone physically attractive or mentally stimulating important, but being with someone who is completely sure of themselves is also very important. The freedom and acceptance that Sigma women give off are like a breath of fresh air in a world that can feel smothering and judgmental. Men want to be around them. They want to be with someone who isn't afraid to be themselves, who loves them for who they are, and who knows how valuable they are. And the benefits are huge for those who are lucky enough to find that person. In short, men dream about Sigma women because they are the epitome of confidence, not in a cocky or haughty way, but in a quiet, unassuming way that says a lot. They want to be with someone who isn't afraid to show all of their flaws and knows who they are. And for those smart enough to see that, the trip is worth it in ways they could never imagine. Imagine being with someone whose every move is like a twist in a suspenseful novel. That's a Sigma woman, a master of being unpredictable who always makes men guess. Why? Because there's something undeniably exciting about someone who won't fit in and makes things interesting by surprising you all the time. Sigma women aren't afraid to change things up, break out of their habits, and enjoy the unexpected. Of course, men are drawn to that kind of thrill and challenge. It's a bit like riding a roller coaster, exciting and a little scary at the same time. Sigma women don't follow a plot or the rules. They live their own lives and will take you along with them, whether you're ready or not. But here's the thing. It's not just the thrill of being with someone who is so uncertain. It's also about the closeness that grows when you go through life's ups and downs with someone. Sigma women aren't afraid to let down their guard or be vulnerable. They know that being open and honest with each other, even when it's hard, is the key to real closeness. That's what makes the dream so interesting. Being with someone who challenges you, pushes you out of your comfort zone, and makes you feel alive in ways you never thought possible, is just as important as being with someone who is nice to look at or smart. There are times when the world feels stale and predictable, and Sigma women are like a breath of fresh air. Men love the sense of adventure and energy that comes from being around them. When they're with someone, they want to be surprised, laugh, and remember that life is meant to be lived with courage and desire. And the benefits are huge for those who are brave enough to jump. In short, men dream about Sigma women because they are the most exciting, unpredictable, and passionate people in the world. They can sweep you off your feet and take you to places you never thought possible. Those who are brave enough to go on the ride will find it more exciting than they ever thought possible. Imagine being with someone whose hopes and dreams are like a kaleidoscope. They move and shift all the time, never quite setting on one clear path. Men are drawn to Sigma women because they are a whirlwind of desire and uncertainty. Why? Because it's impossible not to be drawn to someone who doesn't want to be limited by tradition or expectation and who welcomes the unknown with open arms. Sigma women are bright, fascinating, and just a little hard to find, like shooting stars. It's a bit like trying to catch lightning in a bottle, exciting and scary at the same time. Sigma women aren't afraid to have big dreams or go after their goals with all their might. They get great pleasure from the thrill of the chase and the unknown. However, it's not just about getting there, it's also about the journey, the ups and downs, the turns and twists, and the times when you learn more about yourself along the way. Sigma women don't always have a clear plan for their lives, but they're not afraid to explore, try new things, and see where life takes them. That's what makes the dream so interesting. It's not enough to be with someone who has their life together or knows exactly what they want. You need to be with someone who isn't afraid of the unknown and is ready to take risks to follow their dreams. In a world that can feel suffocating and stifling, Sigma women are like a breath of fresh air. Men love the feeling of freedom and excitement that comes from being around them. They want to be with someone who isn't afraid to live life to the fullest, dream big, and take risks. People who are brave enough to go on the trip with them will get so much in return. To put it simply, men dream about Sigma females because they are the most exciting, uncertain, and limitless possibilities to experience. And the trip is more rewarding than anyone could have imagined for those who are brave enough to accept the unknown. Our look into the lives of Sigma women is almost over, But one thing is still very clear. They are more than just a name or stereotype. These amazing people have a spirit of honesty, independence, and strength that goes beyond social norms and expectations. During our trip, we've learned about all the different reasons why Sigma women are so attractive to men. Every part of their character, from their unwavering independence to their mysterious allure, shows how complicated it is for people to connect and fall in love. But there's more to it than meets the eye. Sigma women teach us that real beauty doesn't come from fitting in, but from accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all. People like them push us to break free from societal norms and make our own way with courage and confidence. That being said, let us take with us the lessons we learned from Sigma females, to love what makes us different, to value our freedom, and to never be afraid of the adventure that comes with being true to ourselves. Because in the end, what really moves the heart and soul is being real. If you made it to the end of the video, comment with, "I believe in myself," so we know what a strong woman you are. And if you enjoyed this video, click here to discover what men notice first in a Sigma female. See you there in a second.